All right, everybody. It's going to be one of those nights. I am flying in on the last minute here. I have been so busy all day today. Literally, I can't even begin to tell you. OAX is dominating every moment of my waking hours anymore, and all for the good, as you might imagine. But it is what it is. But so tonight we've got a couple guests on that many of you remember. We've had them on numerous times in the past. And we're going to get to hang out with them again. I've got both. Let's see. Let me pull them up. We've got Mike and Dinesh, and Mike's got his Mike moniker on tonight, not Xatari, but many of you know his handle from the site and everywhere else as that. So welcome to the show, gentlemen. Nice to have you back.
Thanks so much, Phil. Good to be back.
No, not a problem. Like I said, it's been crazy around here, so I apologize. No music to introduce the show tonight. I had hoped to put something together a little more fun, but could not do it. Couldn't make it, just like you guys. Oh, Dinesh, you're muted. Actually, looks like anyway.
Party foul.
Mike's got a guitar right back there.
Party foul for this guy.
That's true. Well, then there you go. Next time, Mike, I will know to have you kind of kick us off with the
new theme music.
I can. Yeah, I don't know what you have. Many guitars in the background. It looks like actually.
I do play a lot of guitar.
So, but yeah, no, so I do apologize. It's a little odd, you figure after 2 days off, which I've had, I should actually be better and prepared, but such is the life around here. But how you guys been?
Busy, Bill. It's been crazy. Life is wild, but we just got back from Rose City up in Portland, got to see a lot of the community up there and enjoy each other's company and amazing
Why
food.
Say it like that? That doesn't sound like what happened. Don't say that.
Enjoyed some people's company. Not
don't want to name. Yeah. So how was Rose City? I saw some posts on Facebook. It looked like a good show. I've obviously never been to that one, but is there some art to be had? Were other collectors there hanging out?
Yeah.
Rose City's great.
Yeah.
I've never been either. Had you been before, Mike?
No, first time. I've done Emerald City, so like that's kind of my Pac Northwest show that I've been going to, but Rose City was a first for me. I really enjoyed it. I heard it's like coming back though. It had been closed during COVID.
Yeah. And
then last year was kind of its first year back, if I'm not mistaken. Our buddy Bailey is sort of a native up there, and he could probably speak more to that if Bailey's in the chat, he can chime in. But from what I heard from everybody, is it's picking steam up again, and they had some really great artists and creators out there. I was pleasantly surprised.
Sweet. Are you guys going to New York Comic Con?
One of us.
Yeah. You're not gonna be there, Mike?
No, too hard to get away with the family.
I'm not going either, unfortunately. I want to. I'd like to be able to go, but my schedule doesn't allow for it either.
Yeah, well, you've got.
I will represent for you guys. I wear a beanie. I have long hair.
I know. My hair's growing back out. I think the last time we did one of these, my hair was short again, so I'm trying to catch up to Bill one more time.
Yeah, well, I just got a haircut. I just lost 4 or 5 inches.
No.
So I'm presentable now.
So svelte these days.
That's because I've been, it's a good opportunity for my unpaid product placement. It's because I've been drinking Zevia. It's sugar free, but it is caffeinated, but it's not any of the manufactured sugars. It's all good. What the hell is it? I always forget. I forget what
it's plant-based. It's like stevia.
Exactly. So it's good for you. So I've actually lost 10 pounds in the last 30 days.
Or it's not as bad for you.
It's not as bad for you. Exactly. Right. So yes. So that's what I've been doing. That's why I look so svelte these days. But yeah, no. I mean, first, I don't have any shows planned until we get to OAX. So I've just focused on that, I think, unfortunately. But it's
how's that going? You should plug it. I bet people in the chat haven't heard about it.
They probably heard too much about it. But I mean, it's actually shaping up very well.
It's in January, right?
January, the last weekend in January, 26th through the 28th. We've got lots of great artists. We've got Adam Kubert, Adam Hughes, Jimmy and Amanda are here because they're in Tampa. But we've got Mike Allred, Matt Wagner. I'm not looking at my site, so I can't run off the whole list. But yeah, all great talent and everybody who wants to be there. And most people are doing special stuff for the show that they wouldn't normally, do otherwise. Whether it's Sean Gordon Murphy, even though he did those initial $10,000 commissions that he set up before the show, that was part of OAX. there's other artists who are doing special commission sizes that they wouldn't normally do at a show and that you couldn't get otherwise because they don't take commissions. So everybody's kind of, wanting it to be a special show. And it's pretty cool. Talked with some people today who are going to be making like product announcements and business plan announcements that'll happen there.
Nice.
I think it's, we always tried to say that we wanted it to become kind of a industry networking opportunity, not with just, but the major players in the comic art world, and that's actually shaping up to happen. People are taking it to heart, so I think it's gonna be cool.
Awesome. I love that. Yeah, Adam Hughes was just up in Rose City too. His stuff is just so incredible. So that's a great gig.
I know. Adam is he's amazing, and there's going to be some cool stuff that we're going to be able to talk about with him at the show too. He's doing a really special piece for the art auction that's going to be on Saturday night that I think is going to blow people's minds, and a few other things that I think we'll be announcing in the next week or two with them one way or another.
Bill, will Mannix Abrera be there?
Mannix will be there. We've got Mannix.
Nice.
Yeah.
No way.
Team Next Comic Art is going to be well represented at the show. Yeah, they're flying all the way from the Philippines. See, Marcus wanted to know, can you remind me if Mannix will be there? Oh yeah. See, again, I'm not looking at my list, but yeah, I think right now we have 4. We have Miko Swayan's going to be there as well. Harvey all about.
Holy smokes, Bill!
I know. What am I doing?
You heard it here first. Chat. Get out to Orlando and press that like button.
Please do. It's going to be January in Orlando. Where else would people want to hang out? I didn't put this thing in Minnesota or something. Where you're going to freeze. So you may not be able to go hang out at the pool, but you will be able to look at comic art and hang out with friends.
Great.
So
sounds awesome.
Exactly. And if you hadn't known, you'll see it in the chat. Everybody has the endearing title that they've given to my show, since it ends up being the weekend before MegaCon, which was not my idea, by the way. They moved their show to be the weekend after mine after we announced it. Okay. But there will be people walking around with Mega Cox t-shirts, and
can you say that on YouTube? I don't know if you can say that on here.
Oh, you could say it. It's been said in all caps. It's been said with 3 X's at the end of it. There are many different ways with which that has been. I just hope that MegaCon doesn't see it, because I haven't had anything to do with it. But yeah,
Mike got a nickname at Portland.
I did not get a nickname in Portland. That was Jamar.
I'm pretty sure it was you, man. Big phallic.
Oh my gosh, that is.
We got Mega Cox.
Wow, that
is definitely
that's
not
pretty close.
A lot of pressure for me here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you don't. Well, you may end up with a nickname before the end of the night. You never know. But there will be no live cam girl booths, Carlos Mo. Sorry to say, all art. So tonight we're going to be showing off the art a little bit differently when we get there. I know Dinesh had a busy day today, so you've got art in hand that you're going to be presenting, and I did get slides from you, Mike, so that's cool. So I made slides that way, but
I'm an asshole. Can you say that on YouTube?
I don't think
so. Oh there's been a few more choice words than that said on the show already. So yes, you can. I mean, come on. There's some other comics related shows out there where they swear all the time. So I'm not going to name any of them, but yeah.
So you can say asshole, but you can't say the name of the other shows?
I won't do it.
I see the bars. Bill organizes these things way in advance, and Mike is a professional and got all his shit together, and I've just been running around like I had this chicken and did not pull my stuff until 5 minutes ago. So no scans.
But it's all new stuff, though. Remember, I think we haven't done a show in it's over 6 months. So anything we're looking at has been purchased really, since probably, I think, when was the last show? It was probably like February or January or something. It's been a long time.
6 months ago. Yeah. Yep.
Cool. So we're only really going to look at what you've chosen as the 10 best pieces or 10 select pieces that we're going to see from most recent stuff. And now, is all this stuff on your CAF yet?
Nothing.
Nothing's in the CAF. That's what Mike likes to do. He likes to do all new stuff that's not on CAF. This is the absolute best stuff I could find in 10 minutes.
Awesome.
Let me just grab this stack of art sitting here in my room.
It's cool. It's cool stuff.
Well,
you have to be the judge.
I I posted like 20 pieces on CAF on Sunday, and I had people asking me, why did I buy all that stuff? And I'd say, because I've had it laying around. I hadn't put it away in portfolios, and I've been tired of looking at it like I'm going to spill one of my Zevias on it. So I finally decided I'd scan everything, and so I could get it on CAF, so I could put it back in Itoya's and put it somewhere safe. But cool. Well, so who wants to start tonight? This isn't a Dueling Dealers episode, so we're not going to flip a coin. But Dinesh or Mike,
Mike should start. Mike did the work.
All right, then we're going to go with you, Mike. So let's see here. And I did these slides, well, not totally a different way than I usually do, but I was trying to dig around for the published images of these, since this was a special piece.
So this is fun, and I hinted at this in a couple of the forum posts. I was kind of rummaging through some CGC forums, and people were talking about comic art, like the card art, and then Magic the Gathering art. And someone brought up like, hey, this generation's comic or Magic art might be Marvel's Snap. So if you don't know Snap, it's this awesome mobile game that Marvel does, and it's like it hits all of my addiction spots. It's like you can compete with other people, you can battle. And then you have these like collectible cards of your characters that you can use, and there's variants of these things. And I thought, gosh, that's so cool. So then I started going after some of these original art pieces, and I was so stoked to find this one because obviously, I'm a massive Miles fan. This is the main Miles variant by Marco. I'm gonna butcher his name, but it's Failla. It's Failla, and just a really cool piece. And so I don't know, like I was kind of looking for a new place to scratch that itch of hunting for art and also not paying like $1 million for pieces, because that's just impossible these days. Like, so really nice, affordable pieces that are really fun and well done. They all come in the same size too. So to have your piece published for a Snap variant, it has to be sort of in these cool squares. And I'll show you another one here. Here's Mantis variant. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, I'll switch over to you.
Yeah. So really cool. Same artist, Marco here.
Oh, man.
Just really cool. And I got one more to show you guys, but I just thought this was such a fun way to collect some cool comic art, about the price of a commission.
Awesome.
Yeah. Baby Groot, he does a great job. And, again, you're kind of interacting with the artist directly. And I loved it. I thought these were really fun. So I don't know, if you're looking for a new niche in the hobby, this could be a fun way to kind of get into some new art. I like it.
Now, was that an artist that wasn't rep, so you had to go seek him out on Instagram or something like that, or?
No, he wasn't rep. So I just hit him up on Instagram, and he was really responsive. He's got a couple other pieces that haven't been published yet, so they can't sell their art until Marvel actually publishes the card in the game. Mm-hmm. But man, I loved his art. And then there's a really cool site I found that shows all the variants and all the artists who did each variant. So it's pretty user friendly if you want to get into something like this. I just started looking at variants or artists that I like, and then went down the list. It's cool.
I think this is super cool. You told me about these when you first get them, and I've been waiting for you to finish doing your gouging before I jump in. But I want to get some of these too. They're really, really cool, and the game's huge and super fun, and so it's
awesome.
Really
Now, didn't Wills Portasio do some art for that too, or am I thinking of a different game that will?
Very possible. Yeah, very possible. I mean, there's like hundreds of variants now out there.
Okay.
I should
somebody will chat in the chat will give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. I thought because I had him on like 7 or 8 months ago too, and I swear it was one of the things he's like, but don't ask me about this. And I was like, why? That sounds cool. But he didn't. He was like, I just don't want to talk about that. I guess he does a lot of interviews related to work that he's done for Snap. He was like wanting to talk more about comics when we jumped into it.
I just put in the YouTube chat too the link that I use just for finding the different variants and stuff to make it user friendly and accessible for people. But man, I'm having a blast kind of hunting some of these pieces down and enjoying it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, that's part of the thing when you're dealing with artists that aren't repped, and you have to figure out where the heck they are. And were they a US based artist? What was the last?
Marco was not. No, Marco was not. But a lot of them are. I mean, they're all over the world. So they've got a lot in Asia, a few in South America, a few in Europe, but kind of all over the place. And it's fun. They're just great up and coming artists, and I love it.
Also good lesson, right? A lot of people don't do that. Just I've learned from you, Mike, and I've reached out to a couple artists and said, "Hey, I love this thing you did 20 years ago. Do you happen to know where it is?" I have it.
Yeah.
Would you like it? Let's make a deal. You'd be surprised. And it's great working directly with artists because they're getting the money that they deserve.
Exactly. Yeah. In fact, while we were at Rose City, we found pieces of art that we've been looking for that were like, same thing. Creator still has them, and it's like, that's awesome. We're going to go after that stuff.
Yeah.
Sweet. I like those frames too, by the way. I assume
dude, that's a
is that just interchangeable?
$10 Hobby Lobby special. They're like record frames.
That.
Yeah, they're designed for records. Our buddy Onkar here mentioned, you shouldn't do this if you have a lot of humidity in your area because the art can stick. I'm out in Northern California, so it's not really an issue. Our humidity is pretty low out here, but buyer beware, I guess. But I love it. Sorry, Bailey. I know, man. I'm sorry.
Oh man, yeah. Speaking of
good for that. Good for the artist. It's great for the artist.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And there's enough variants out there. Just find somebody you like. I've got a couple buddies who are with us in San Diego who were into comics but are thinking about getting into art. And it was like, hey, this is a great way to get into sort of a published piece for about the price of a commission and not worry about it. I always prefer published pieces myself. So I'm a big commission collector, but it's just me.
Very cool. I was going to say one of the earliest things I ever framed was an animation cell for my son. Yeah, I bought him a Pokemon animation cell. It's got Ash and Pikachu on it, right? And then I bet you it's first season because like 6 years after we bought it, the company that I bought it from actually emailed me asking if they could buy it back. So it must be something good. Yeah. But the thing is, I framed it, and so it's been framed for over 24 years, and I got the International Heritage catalog that came with the anime. It is literally that same image, except Pikachu is holding a grocery bag in his hand behind his back shoulder, like they're coming home from the grocery store. And he's got this strained look on his face. And I'm thinking, it's already at $3,500, at least last time I checked. And so I'm thinking, we might want to get it out of the frame and put it someplace really safe.
This just came out from Heritage. It's definitely going to go big. That's, just a classic cell. Our buddy Yaniv is a big cell collector. And that's a definitely an A-class cell right there. So congrats, Bill. That's a good find.
Well, it is, but it's got me nervous now, having been in a frame and, for all that time. And, and I know that those things have some kind of gases that they release because they're on, the type of material they're painted on and all that stuff. It makes me nervous because I remember reading the description on that thing and it said that it was two cells and they specifically stated that, they're not stuck together. Pikachu's on one, Ash is on another. So it just makes me get a little bit, anxiety. Like we need to get that in someplace much safer than that. So we will see, because it's not with me now. My son's still back in Ohio, so God only knows, where he's put it. But anyway, let's keep this thing rolling. So Dinesh, what's that?
Matthew Bulmer, Megalith cover is getting framed right now. That thing is sick. People are sleeping on Bad Idea art. Thank you, Matthew, for the plug for Bad Idea and Megalith. Which cover did you get, Matthew? Put it in the chat so I know. There's only 2 covers so far.
Cool.
Actually, I know exactly which one you have because I have the other one. So you must have issue 2.
That's cool.
There you have it.
Oh, it's my turn. Okay.
Yes. So let's go full screen.
Dinesh just happened to have lying around.
Right. Exactly. You found 10 pieces just on the shelf.
I got this.
Gosh, you kidding me? Just stop already.
This is the first one. I picked this up, a private deal from anyone that's paying attention to it on CAF knows who it was. I don't know that they'd want me to say, so I won't. But I was having a drink with him. I wonder if he wants me telling the story. I was having a drink with him and his wife, very lovely lady, very lovely guy. And he told me he got this, and I was telling him I saw it in CAF, and it's gorgeous. And he was like, "Oh, really? You really like it that much? I mean, it's nice. It's Jim Lee, but I wish it had Wolverine or whatever." I was like, "No. This is, for me, one of the Extinction Agenda. I love crossover covers. It's got this incredible composition, breaking the logo. Just one of my all-time favorite Jim Lee covers." And his wife is sitting there, like all of our significant others, wondering what idiots we are. And so the minute he went to the bathroom, I said to her, if he's not that keen on it, I'd give you, and I named a number, and her eyes pop out of her skull. And then he came back from the bathroom and she's like, you know what he just told me? He said he'd give you this much money for that cover. You should sell it. And he's like, no, I won't. And a couple weeks later, he called me and he's like, my wife keeps bugging me. We should make this deal. Guys, I've got something I want to buy. So very happy to, and it's got a little Jim Lee thing here, little Jim Lee sketch in the tuna box. I was very happy to pick this up.
Gosh, that is so nice, man.
A new approach to collecting art. Go after the spouse.
Yes.
Make offers to the spouse, and you never know where you're going to end up.
So smart.
Reach out directly to the artists and the collectors' wives.
And the collectors'
Yeah.
In that order. Yeah. Well, every I'm sure every opportunity is different, right? I mean, you just never know how it's going to work out. But that's cool. That's good.
The seller is a collector who he doesn't lose. He's too smart. So he sold this to me. Whatever he used the money to buy, I'm sure is way cooler and very exciting.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
your wife, yes.
Yeah, well, you never know. I mean, like for me, I was talking with a good friend of mine who hasn't collected in the last 8 or 9 years, and he's got a kid who's going to be going to an Ivy League school, and he's thinking about selling some stuff that he has, and it's like, and he really doesn't want to, but because he hasn't been collecting for a while, he's like, well, it just keeps growing up in value, and I'd rather not be going into my retirement to pay for my kids $80,000 a year Ivy League education. So yeah, you never know. You talk to his spouse too, you might be able to get some art from him. But
that's wonderful to hear, because and you hear this so much from so many collectors. It's something that they love. They bought without the intention of it necessarily going up, and now it's a little bit of a nest egg, and it provides a kind of freedom in life that so many other things that you could spend your time and money in life on don't. It's just so wonderful to hear that, frankly.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, he has a piece that he bought for like $2,500 that I'm quite certain is worth $55,000, maybe $60,000, and he bought it like 10 years ago. Wow. And I could be even wrong on that. It could be a little bit more, but that was my conservative guess. So yeah, very cool. So back to you, Mike. Now let's see. Number 2 here was a page from Longshot 1.
I've been after one of these for a while. There was a pretty big run on these about a year ago. So I think it was either Heritage or Comic Link had tons of Longshot pages that kept coming up. And then I noticed maybe, 6 months ago that well started drying up, right? That happens a lot of time. Happened with Giant Size X-Men. It feels like it happened a little bit recently with Tales of Suspense 39, where an auction house will have kind of a stack of stuff, and then you never know when the last is up. And so I missed most of the Longshot pages. I hit up a few collectors and kept striking out. Finally, this actually came up on Comic Link a couple weeks ago, and man, I wasn't going to miss out again. It was issue number 1, Art Adams. I love art too. I was listening to Rob Liefeld talk about Art Adams and how he sort of changed the dynamic of sort of figures in the way they were represented in body style. He said up until Art, it was kind of like a 1 head to 6 head body to head ratio. And he said what Art did was he started moving it to like 1 to 8. So you had these like elongated bodies, and it just created a different dynamic. And then he said, all the Image guys, all the 90s guys basically just ripped off that style. And you see it, like, especially in that bottom middle panel there, the length of Longshot. And what's cool about Longshot, for me at least, was when I was in comics in the 80s, this was one of the first series that I started reading. And I felt like I had no idea what was going on. I read this thing like over and over again because it's a weird story, right? Mojo World is just bizarre. I couldn't figure it out, but all I knew is I liked it a lot and kept reading it. So this was a cool piece for me to finally get into my collection. First appearance for Longshot. Obviously, I collect first appearance stuff, and just a really cool page.
Yeah, well, I think many of us read Longshot issue 1 numerous times to try to just figure out what the hell are we reading here, because the cover certainly sucked you in, but then it was like, what in the world have I gotten myself into? Yeah,
it felt a little bit like sort of like a sci-fi Blade Runner, Alice in Wonderland, like pre-Matrix type of thing. Like, I have no idea what's going on. Why does this guy have fewer fingers? Who is Mojo? It kind of reminded me of Dune and like the floating fat man, I don't know. It was just all of these really cool things kind of coming together, and just love the art. And man, I love this page.
The art is amazing. And Wiles Pistachio inked this stuff, right? This is his ink.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe so. What was cool too, while we were in Rose City, Art was there. And so when I showed him the page, because I was picking it up, and he was like, man, this is awesome. Can I get a scan so we can use this later if we do a book or something like that? So Art's got scans of this now at his disposal. And just, man, what a fun page.
I love that last panel. My favorite thing, it's so Art Adams, which is so wonderful, because you can instantly recognize it. This is one as a piece that he's done. It's got that amazing detail that he does, those figures, the body language. But I absolutely love the inking on the staircase.
Yeah.
In that bottom panel.
Yeah, the shadow is awesome.
Yeah, the cross hatching, the 4 different techniques that Wiles is using on Art. It's really, really, really beautiful.
Yep, exactly. So fun. So finally had that one checked off. This is one of the last childhood pieces I really wanted to make sure I had.
Well, congratulations. Many of us have wanted a Longshot page in our collections, but not everybody can have one. I've never had one. I've seen them, never bought one. Yeah.
Someone on CAF has a beautiful Longshot and Spiral page. I've just been, oogling over for years, but could never afford it until this one came up. So
he did Bailey mentioning in the chat. He did an incredible Pokemon commission for.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. Yeah, I saw. Where the hell did I see that? I think I saw did Essential post that? Somebody posted a shot.
I think Bailey just posted on CAF.
Did Bailey post it? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that. I know I saw it. So it was probably Bailey's Facebook feed that I saw it on. I was cruising through it yesterday, I think, and saw it. It was
awesome. It was so cool.
Or something like that. I know. It was one of those plant-based Pokemon.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know all the names. Cool. Well, Dinesh, now I guess over to you for the second piece from you.
Okay, I've got big Doomsday fan, big Death Superman fan. I've got a Man of Steel 18 page 1. And for anyone that remembers the story, there's those 4 issues that precede the start of the crossover, where you just see 4 panels of Doomsday breaking through the containment that he's stuck in. And this is the first page where he you see him break out again. I can't get one of those 4 teaser pages. This is as close as I can get. And I suppose you could argue in some ways it's the first interior of Doomsday. I've got the cover as well, so it was a nice match for them. And just as often as I can, anything Doomsday, anything Death Superman, I will make a run at. Was lucky enough to get this. Super happy with it.
That was awesome. Man of Steel 18. Cool.
Gosh, there was so much fun, built up excitement for this. I remember all of those. I mapped out all of the crossover issues that I wanted to grab for Death of Superman leading up to it. And dude, this page, yep.
The lettering is, the sound effects are actually lettered on the page, which is cool. And I don't know that I've ever seen Krang before, but maybe it's just me. But Krang, Krakoom, that's very, very Doomsday. In fact, I'm going to try and steal that and use that somewhere in Bad Idea. I'm going to pitch it to one of the writers one day. That's a little
just to borrow it. No, why not? Right. That's a cool page, man. I mean, anything. I had Jurgens on the other day, and we talked a bit about that era, and it's fun. I mean, there was a lot of hype around all of those books and the storyline and things. So that's awesome that you've got a piece from that. That's great.
I'm so excited about this page. Superman's not on it. You can barely see Doomsday. There's no fighting. It's that story. I love it. That's my number 2.
So I've got 25 pages from Dennis Cowan that I'm going to be selling for him on Saturday, on an interview sales show. And I've actually got, I know you guys are first appearance collectors.
Yeah.
So I have a first appearance of a character that probably is totally insignificant in the DCU. But then again, considering I know nothing about the DCU, they may be the most important character today.
You gonna show us?
Yeah, I will. I've got it in hand. It's from Steel. This is from what year? It's signed on the back, Dennis Cowan, Tom Palmer. It is from 1996.
96, okay.
Steel issue 34, which I know was Dennis Cowan's first issue on the book. And it's some woman by the name of, she's some police officer woman right there named Margot. But I guess she was in the 2 years that Dennis and the writer worked on the book, she was the person who was helping him out through stuff. So a Steel issue 34, page 7. So, and she smokes a cigar. A woman smoking a cigar. So I don't know. At any rate, yeah, I guess so. I've got Steel. Actually, but the reason I remember that is because I've got Man of Steel artwork from him from issue 54. Yeah. Did
you say she was smoking a cigar?
She is smoking a cigar in that one. Yeah, look at that.
90s is wild, dude.
Yeah, what were they thinking, man? Look at that. She's blowing the smoke out. She's probably doing smoke rings there at the bottom.
Just blowing smoke.
Yeah. but yeah, look at that. I got a DPS too from this is from the Man of Steel one. Yeah, nice.
Ah, that's awesome.
That is good. Those are good pieces.
Yeah, Dennis is. It's back to like when you guys were talking earlier about you never know what the artists kind of just have in flat files. You know that they just are. You know, because he's like I haven't looked at it in 20 years. You know, and I just said, well, pull out some old stuff. He worked on Silver Surfer for crying out loud. I got 7 Silver Surfer pages.
Awesome.
I don't understand it. You know, but
they have a lot. They have so much and for so long, no one cared.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's very true. And I don't think Dennis has ever really been rep. So it's not like he had somebody pushing it, right? He won't only sell at shows or something. So, yeah, it's, you know, it stands the reason that he would have so much of it still laying around. Because we sold a bunch of his Deathlok stuff. Well, not a bunch. We sold about 8 pages or so in the last time I had him on. I tried to get some question artwork from him because I know that would, but that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
He's got
stripes
rolled away.
Well, he lets
I'll keep trying. Let's see. What did Jason say? Is Cowan taking a list? No, he's not taking a list and having Sienkiewicz ink them. That was a one and done event for everybody. All right, so let's take a look at let's see, number 3 here from you, Mike.
This was a really cool Dinesh friendship hookup here. I was watching this auction and immediately after I kicked myself. So I mentioned Tales of Suspense 39. So first Tony Stark, Iron Man issue. There's only 13 pages. I think there's 7 in costume, 6 without. Costume pages are like 200,000 plus. There's no way I can ever afford one of those. So I was kicking myself when this one went for like mid 60s, low 70s, something like that. I was like, man, that was like my one shot to get a Tony Stark page.
It was a bargain. It's a crazy bargain.
It was a crazy bargain. And so I hit up Dinesh and he's like, I actually won the auction. I was like, you're kidding me. He's like, if you want the page, I'll let you take it. So we worked with Heritage. They assigned it to me. And that was just such a cool thing you did, man. I can't thank you enough. Really appreciate you doing that.
Yeah, of course, man. You've done that for me many times.
Yeah. So anyway, this is really cool. This is Tony designing the suit. You can see him there in the bottom, his first suit, you know, and then you also see, you know, first appearance, and I'm blanking on the guy's name. The guy who's captive with him. Why am I blanking on his name?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah. It's escaping me. I'm sorry. Someone in the chat will know. But anyway, that's him getting thrown into prison with Tony. So really cool. They designed it together. So the co-designer of the suit. But yeah, that's it. It's Yin something? I'm blanking.
It is something like that. These pages, there's only 13 pages, I believe.
Yep.
I remember right, with Tony Stark on them.
Yep.
Yin Sen, that's awesome. And
that's it.
I think we're in such a blessed time for these things to be coming for auction. I think I've won 3 or 4 of them. Yeah. And Mike, you got one. Someone else got in touch. The first one I won, someone else got in touch and said they really wanted it. And I was like, sure, I'm going to go for the next one anyway. Let's make a deal. So happy. It feels like people looking at the auction then get FOMO afterwards. So I'm happy to help.
Yeah, that's interesting. I would never have thought that Heritage would transfer a win from somebody to another person. But I guess, I mean, hey, you can do anything you want, right? At the end of the day. So cool. That's wonderful.
We have the same rep also, Mike and I at Heritage. David Miller don't love the reps at Heritage as a whole. And I was complaining to David Miller, and he said, well, there's one guy I like, and hooked us up with him. And he's great.
He's been very, very helpful. Yeah.
Awesome.
Rick. I'm trying to remember his name. Rick Akers.
Yeah, Rick Akers.
Is awesome.
Yeah. Cool. We were just chatting over the weekend, but I love Rick, man. He's got really good insight, good heart, you know, looking to help people out. So
yeah.
Do you guys see any art in the international auction that you're interested in, or is it are you going to save up for the next big U.S. signature auction?
I haven't had a chance to look. I've been so swamped. What about you, Mike?
I haven't looked at it either, so I don't know.
I feel like I always am tracking something, and I just like I can't remember which auction they're in, and so yeah, I don't remember if there's one in particular. Is this the one? I think there's like a X-Men 129 page coming up, Watchmen 1 page. Is that the international auction?
Yeah, there's a great X-Men
Oh,
shot. It's already like 70 grand or so.
Yeah, it's 67.5 before the Jews.
67.5.
The
Okay.
one with the Dark Knight pages.
Dark Knight double.
Right.
page.
Those unpublished.
Yep.
They were what, over 300 not too long ago? I mean, I have no
We're
idea.
at 380 right now. Yeah, I'm looking at them right now. 380. There's a cool Delano cover.
To see the Klaus page and how much he's doing Neil Adams, which makes sense, right? Because at that period, Neil Adams had just done his 70s run. That's Batman, and then Miller coming in and just doing his what we now know as a definitive Batman. But at the time, must have been like, "What are you doing, Frank Miller? What is this? Yeah. What is this nonsense?" It's awesome.
Yeah, that's right, Philip. The Death of the Comedian page was getting tossed through the plate glass window.
Right.
Yeah.
What's that one out right now?
I don't think it's crazy right now yet, right? Is it
35,000?
Yeah,
that's big page.
Yeah, I always kind of look at. Someone was asking me, who's getting into the art situation, and he's like, "Well, what should I expect this to end at?" For me, in general, I kind of look at the pre-live bidding and double it and expect like that's basically where it's going to go in a lot of situations. I think the Dark Knight DPS may be an exception to that, but in general, a lot of that stuff will probably double.
Mm-hmm.
Those are good pages, man. They'll do well. And I bet you if someone bought that, split them up, either page would go for more than half of the total auction.
I mean, right now they're already at 475 with the juice. 475 for those are big. Yeah,
they're great pages. So I mean, when's the last time we saw pages that good from Dark Knight come up?
I don't know.
Very, very long time. I agree. It'll be interesting to see because usually the international auctions don't have. I mean, they got good stuff in there, but this is by far one of the most interesting ones I've seen in the last 3 or 4 years. So,
whose pages are those Dark Knight pages? Who put them in?
I don't know. Not sure.
I don't know. I haven't heard any rumors. I know there's scuttlebutt out there, but I don't know what it is because I tend to cover my ears when I think there might be something I shouldn't know. Yeah. But nothing bad or anything. But again, just very interesting to see. And I know. I mean, we're definitely gonna be talking about it. I've got Joe Manarino on next week or the week after to do like a little preview, but I know he's anxious to talk about it. We might even get the guy from Heritage's European lead, Olivier. I can't remember his name now, but anyway, he might actually stay up late to come and hang out with us, so that'll be interesting.
Awesome.
Yeah.
This part, Mike, it's got to be Mandel, right? I mean, he's got a ton of those pages.
I don't know.
Who has 2 of this quality, and we'll let him go. Plus, that prop auction's coming up.
Oh yeah, that's a big auction coming up.
He's smart. He likes to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, I don't know. That's quite possible though.
I'll make the popcorn and watch the fireworks. I always love for anyone in the chat, man. You're always welcome to join us if you shoot me a message. But I love doing like live viewing parties while the auction's going on.
You do great ones. Yeah,
it's so much fun to just watch that stuff together and cheer on the bidders and let our jaws drop to the floor and pick them back up.
Do you cheer when you win, or do you keep your these?
I definitely audibly cheered when I got that New Mutants '98 like pencil before Rob, traced it and Xeroxed it. Mm-hmm. Man, Dinesh, I think you were on the phone with me. I was definitely cheering for that because I thought it was going to go at least double or triple what I got it for.
And thank you, Kezra. I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah,
Delphus. Yeah, that's right. So he may be with us whenever it is next. I think it's next Monday, or maybe the Monday after that. Whatever the Monday is before the auction. So cool. Well, Dinesh, I think we're back over to you, right, for a third one, or I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Over to you.
All right, I've got this. This is this is X-Men 14, X-Men Annual 14.
Nice.
It's the
first Gambit. I see him there in the bottom.
Yep.
Middle.
There he is. Unpopular opinion, first Gambit. Everyone knows the story. Uncanny 266 is continuity-wise earlier, but in release schedule came out later due to delays. So this is technically the first Gambit. How many pages does he appear on in this book, Mike? Do you remember?
Oh, it's a lot. He's named, I think it's like 7 or 8, if I'm not mistaken. And he's all over it. That's definitely his first. He's named, he shows up, back, front, whole thing. Look at all those characters too. I love this page. This is our Adams.
Yeah, this is Adams as well. So I've got an Adams.
Yeah.
Screw you, Mike. You're not the only guy who cool Adams are. This was Mike's page. And I was lucky enough to liberate it by calling his wife. No, I didn't call his wife. He called me, and he knew I wanted it.
Oh boy, that's
so I managed to.
That is a great page.
In case anyone forgets, someone wrote, Mike, did you do that?
Who was that? I don't know. No, I would have signed my own name on there.
So that's my number. Are we on 3? That's my number 3.
That is number 3.
That's a good one.
First appearance page.
Or this could have been your number 4 or your number 10 pick, I think, based on those buildings. But you decided to go a little rogue and go after on number 3 tonight. That's all right.
No, I should have thought about it. You're right. So it's how many heads? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. This feels like it wasn't his best work. No, I'm kidding. It's phenomenal stuff. This panel alone is just worth the price.
Oh, heck yeah.
So cool. That's it. That's my number 3.
Very, very nice. All right, Mike, back to you. And this is number 4 for you. And Jenny Frison, right? This is a Ms. Marvel like variant, I guess, right? Nope, Mike's frozen.
Oh, he is?
He is literally not moving, stone cold.
What is it? This is the hip hop variants, right?
Yes, yes, exactly. One of the hip hop variants from that book.
Lauryn Hill album.
Very, very true. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, sorry. Nobody wants to see Mike totally frozen like a popsicle. He looks like Captain America from Avengers 4 before they broke him out of the ice.
Amazing.
Well, we can switch back to you, Dinesh, and you can do a lot 4 if you want. While we wait for Mike to
do whatever you
unfreeze.
We can talk about you too, Bill. How are you, man? How are things going?
Oh, wait, Mike is back. Well, things are good for me, but Mike is back with a let's see, a different. Oh, there he goes. He literally just dropped out. Here we go. You can't see Mike, but Mike, you're in this show again.
Awesome. Sorry about that, Bill. I've got a connection issue. All of a sudden, it froze on me.
No problem. So we didn't say anything about this wonderful hip hop cover. So
I love this one so much. This one's actually from Jiggy, and he had listed a bunch of stuff, and I had been after this cover for years. Yep, hip hop variant, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, and this is Miss Marvel #1 by Jenny Frison, which I love Jenny's stuff. I have a lot of her pieces, and a lot of close friends know that we're a big Kamala family over here. We love her, and this was just a cover that has been on my wish list for a while. I was so happy to see it pop up for sale from Jiggy. Met him over in San Diego and picked it up in person, but just beautiful. Really nice rendering on here.
Sweet. Did he offer this on Next Comic Art, or was it something he put up in his CAF? I mean, how did he market it?
I think he had it on the CAF sale.
On Comic Art Live, like maybe in May. All right, sweet.
Yeah.
What's Comic Art Live? I've never heard of this thing. In great detail.
How can that be? I mean, we're only going to have our 8th one the weekend of November 11th and 12th, Dinesh.
Wow, it must be super popular and successful.
It is probably the most successful virtual con that has ever been held in the last 3 years, and that's why we're on number 8 for crying out loud. I don't know. Anyway,
I have heard of this. The guy that runs it is a big hair guy.
Big hair guy, yeah. Like 80s metal hairband guy. Honestly, Bill, I love that so much. Like, it's like my 2 favorite sales a year are Comic Art Live. I just I find stuff every single time. I miss out on stuff every single time. But to me, it's like it's one of the coolest shows that happens, and I just love it.
No, I feel very fortunate that it caught on like it did, and it still has legs, right? I mean, I think it's really only picking up momentum. I've actually been lining up panels now, which is, we're not 2 months out, a month and a half out. Usually I'm doing that the week before, right?
Yeah.
But I've already got 5 panels because people are coming to me early now. They don't want to miss out on the opportunity to do an announcement and some kind of presentation, a small art sale, because we have like 50 minutes on a panel to talk. So we typically, if we do an art sale during that, we can have like 5 or 6 pieces. So I've got a couple artists that wanted to wedge themselves in there now, and it's just cool. It's nice to have that happen, because usually I'm the one fishing to fill like half of the gaps. I don't think I'm going to have that problem here with show 8, which is great.
I feel like I've gotten some of my hardest pieces from those shows. Like I got my Spider-Man 2099 #1 page from one of those.
Because it's curated better. I mean, it's curated by collectors, right? Yeah. Collectors are picking the pages to put up. Heritage, Comic Link, they're all fine, but no one knows art like art collectors know art. I get a ton of Valiant art there. It's awesome because it's stuff that I'll never find at an auction house because they don't value it. I value it as a collector, and I've got some of my favorite Valiant pieces from the CAF Live events. It's awesome.
Yeah, I love that.
And it seems to be growing. It seems like you get more sales. There seems to be higher prices. I mean, and then also the conversation we just had about the heritage sales, that those Dark Knight pages. It seems like we have a very, very, very healthy market for art right now.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that maybe books are questionably healthy or not.
Yeah, but the books definitely have their own challenges. I mean, in our, just from, I do the market reports every week. So to me, prices are stable, and good. The goods, I mean, Heritage had their last signature auction equaled the prior one with a higher per item average item sale price. So so it's not dropping, at all. I think that when I look at what's happening on eBay and Heritage and with the dealers, the volume's a little bit lower. So, maybe certain things aren't selling, but nothing's selling for less than it's worth by and large from my observation. That's just maybe you're not selling, somebody goes to an artist and they don't buy 3 pages, they only buy 2, that kind of thing. You're seeing the dealers have a little bit of a downturn, but the prices aren't going down. It's just the volume. Anthony's not getting 110 sales a week now. He's getting 80 or 75. So, and that's okay. Everybody can be a little bit more conservative in their buying habits, but unlike what you see in comics and sports cards and everything else, where there really was a bubble in 2021, and you're seeing that, the negative effects of that and the prices of graded comics and those things today, you're not seeing that at all in comic art, which is good. I mean, it's a positive thing. I mean, it is fine art at the end of the day, and you typically don't see crashes in the fine art market either. So I don't foresee anything like that happening here. Just people.
It makes no sense. Mike and I always talk about trying to make sure, if we're going to spend a lot of money, make sure we're buying something that's super premium, AAA quality. Because it seems like, and you see some books as well, but much more in art, the AAA stuff maintains and increases in value at a consistent rate. It's the mid-tier and lower end stuff that you really got to love and not think about it as something that you're spending a lot of money on. Because that stuff is getting crushed. And I haven't looked at the marketplace right now, but I imagine that mid-tier is probably getting crushed a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. Even in the last Heritage auction, I saw some really nice pieces mid-tier that kind of surprised. It really depends. Like, I feel like there's still great art at sort of all levels, but it's, I do think there is good examples of good characters and good artists. Like, will always have a strong sale, just in general. But I thought for a while maybe it was like I was stratifying it based on like dollar value, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe that sort of like 5 to 20 space was going to get.
Yeah, that's what I've expected.
Yeah, but it's the stuff that's in that space that's still strong examples of it that seem to be doing well, at least in this last auction. I'm trying to think of a couple pieces.
Are we seeing the same volume of marquee pieces?
No.
In the different tiers?
No, I think that at least the last couple of signature or the platinum auctions with Heritage, haven't had the same ever since Dark Knight, that Dark Knight 1 cover.
Yeah.
I don't feel like they've had the same sort of marquee pieces leading the charge. And we talked about that, right? We felt like the last couple of years, this was a time where we were seeing a rise in prices, but then we saw a surplus of really quality pieces coming to market that was maybe just an opportunity to buy that we wouldn't have again. I think that we were right about that, to be honest with you. I think that we're seeing a slowdown of the top tier.
Right. I mean, that's part of what's happening for sure. I mean, the last several heritage auctions have been in the $8 to $6.6 million total area. I'd say the last five of them. And then prior to that, when we were seeing the really great sales, they were hitting $10-12 million. And that was because, though, there would always be several pieces finishing between $350,000 and $500,000, and one Frazetta sliding in at $1.5 million. And you're not, I mean, there was a Frazetta in the last one that started at 1.5, didn't get a bid. So you're just seeing, people being less risky with the pieces that could be worth $500,000, but maybe they might only sell for $425. I always say we as art collectors are never going to risk selling anything for less than we paid for it. So that's also why in this market, you're not going to typically see a rebound in prices, because, hey, I'll sit on it for another 5 years if that's what it's going to take to make it so I can sell it for as much or more than I bought it for originally. Comics is like trading, poker chips or Monopoly money at the end of the day. When a comics dealer has an inventory of, 30,000 graded comics, what does he care if he's losing money on 40% of his sales? As long as 60% are making him money, he doesn't care. So they don't care about losing money over there. It's just a very different, collectible. So
one thing that
we have it good.
I was going to say, I was a little surprised in the last couple auctions too. I feel like we're seeing people, whether they're flipping it, maybe they thought they were buying it to flip it, but I'm seeing a lot of the same pieces where, I haven't been in the hobby more than 3.5 years or so now. But I was seeing a lot of familiar pieces that had just recently sold. And so I think there is a recency effect where it just feels like, well, that's always going to be available. If you see it twice in, 3 years, the assumption is I'll see it again in the next 3 years. And
I love that.
Yeah.
I'll light up. Give it.
Yeah, I know. We talk about it. We're still active buyers. I mean, this is, this is a good market to be buying in.
That is true. I mean, I'm starting to see similar pieces or same pieces over, with all the time I spend looking at stuff anymore, and it's getting hard to remember, where and when that last time I saw it. But it is part of it, right? Especially when you're paying attention. I think like many of us do. So all good. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know. I feel very, very good about where we're at as a hobby, regardless of the economy. So
Me too.
Good art is, I mean, I'm having the best time ever as a collector, in these last 2 or 3 years. So I imagine most people in the chat would feel the exact same way.
Yep.
Let's see. So, hey, where are we at now? We were on 4 for Mike last. So we're going over to number 4 for Dinesh. And we're not going to look at that Art Adams Fantastic 4 page. So what are we going to look at this time, Dinesh?
Is it me again?
It's you. Yeah.
Got this here. Spidey 220 cover.
Nice.
We got a little inscription from Bob Layton. It says, "To Larry, I'm not Larry. My spider pal, Bob Layton." And I don't know, man. I just always loved this cover. And then this actually, speaking of, this is one that sold at auction, and then came up a year later, and I was very happy to pick it up. It went for maybe 5% more than the previous sale, and I was stoked. Very excited to have it. Just super strange, almost like a DC, Golden Age DC version of a Marvel cover. 2 iconic Marvel characters, Amazing Spider-Man cover. I was in.
So cool.
What's it got on the back? It says Rush. Rush job here.
Previously owned by Rush Limbaugh.
If it said T-Bear on the back of there, I was going to, just leave the chat right now and let you guys just take over. But it doesn't, thankfully. $125. So when Bob sold it to his good friend Larry, he sold it.
No, that's me. I put that there so I remember what I paid for it. I paid $125.
Very nice.
I love when you've got prices back there.
Yeah, me too.
It's just such an artifact of the time.
Oh yeah. No, that's awesome. I mean, unforgettable image, for me. And I wasn't even collecting Spidey, but I remember seeing those at the drugstore. That exact issue. I mean, it's just so memorable.
Yeah, great period. Ghost starring, not guest starring. House of Ideas, man. Ghost starring. Puns. House of Puns.
Very punny.
Yeah, very, very, very nice. Well, man, that's a good pickup.
And I love Bob's work from that period. I love his work just in general, but that period especially, and then into Valiant, obviously being a big Valiant fan, that line weight, that voice in his art is just so wonderful. He didn't do that many covers that were all him, and he's inking a lot of people. He's helping bring their style out, but just to have one that is purely Bob Layton is just fun for me.
Do you know I've had Bob Layton on my CAF updates for like the last 4 months?
Where in the world is Bob Layton?
Where in the world is Bob Layton? Well, he's back in Seoul, South Korea now. He's hanging out there, I think, through the holiday, from what he said. So it's been fun.
I think he's there permanently. He's got a movie that's getting ready to go. So I think he's there until that movie goes.
Yeah, I mean, he said that might be in January. So yeah, he's having a good time. I mean, he got his world tour. He was in Greece recently, but now he's going to stick in Seoul for 4 or 5 months or something like that. Living the good life, eating larva and whatever, chicken feet or something. I don't know. He sent us videos on some of the interesting dishes he's had since he's been there. He can start up his own traveling, dining show. What is Bob eating this week?
He should. He's a good personality. He came out to. I've learned a lot of valuable life lessons from Bob. He came out to South Africa when we were shooting Bloodshot because he co-created that character.
Right.
And I spent a bunch of time with him. And I remember once, he's going to hate that I tell the story. He wanted to use the bathroom. So he came to my trailer, went to the bathroom. I'm in there with Kevin Van Hook, who also co-created Bloodshot. And Bob's in the bathroom, and we hear this sploosh, sploosh, very loud, double sploosh. And we're like, what is that? And then it's a couple minutes later, and then you hear peeing, because it's a trailer, it's small. And then he flushes and he comes out, and we're both looking at him. He's like, what? And I'm like, what was that sploosh, sploosh? And he was, well, I don't know if you know this, Dinesh, but your balls keep growing. And when you're an older man, sometimes you forget to hold them and they go into the toilet. And I was like, come on, man, you were taking a shit. He's like, no, I'm serious. That's what happens. Your earlobes grow, your nose, nostrils grow, your balls keep dropping. And I was like, this is not real. I'm Googling it, and then horrified to learn this is my fate, all of our fates. So I spent the entire rest of the week calling him Balls Layton. And then when he left, he asked me to use my trailer again for the toilet, but he didn't want to. Instead, he drew. I have a photo on my phone somewhere. He drew a caricature of Bob Layton, but instead of a head, he had 2 balls, and wrote Balls Layton. He's gonna hate if he ever hears I told that story here. He's gonna hate it.
Oh, he's probably watching right now. It's 11 a.m. in.
And I don't have. But then I have. This is the sound. Actually, this is the sound.
Wait a minute.
Splooch. This is Clayton Cowles. One of the all-time great letterers was at Rose City doing commissions where you could give him a sound effect and he'd do a commission. He did this. I had no idea it would be this wonderful. And Shaheen, who is a big art collector, was there with me. And I was trying to think of what would be cool. And he said splooch. And I was like, that's ridiculous. This is a stupid thing to do. Clayton was like, no, that'd be fun. So here it is, splooch. And that was the sound. I'm going to embarrass Shaheen a little bit more. Shaheen's amazing. He just sent me a picture. He's dying right now because he's like, you're not going to tell that story. He just sent me a picture of a commission that I asked him to do that I will not explain because it is the most offensive thing anyone has ever commissioned. The absolute most offensive. It will all be canceled. Everyone involved. Everyone in chat. Everyone on CAF. Everyone. What's up, Jim? How are you, man?
Jim's in the chat right now.
Legit genius in the audience.
Jim, you just missed Dinesh's Bob Layton story.
Yeah, thank God.
It's probably for you can rewind it later and you'll get the skinny on that one. But nice to have Jim hanging out with us. Wow. And I get to see Bob on Thursday. I won't ask him about it.
Ask him about Balls Layton.
Balls Layton.
If you remember his new nickname.
Oh boy. Yeah, I'm making a note of that. So I will
send you the picture.
Balls lately? Because we've been calling him Tom because apparently they don't have a they don't have a word for the name Bob, so they were calling him Tom Layton in Seoul. So we've been calling him Tom for the last.
They definitely have a word for balls.
Weeks.
Everyone has a word for balls.
Yeah. Oh
Used
boy.
to be a family-friendly show.
Oh my goodness. Yep. As long as the chatbots don't come in.
Food heard the story.
Oh man. All right. Let's keep this thing rolling here. What do we got for? Let's see. Number 5 here from Mike. What I forget now. Oh, I know now. All right. So
heck yeah.
You got Kirby and Coletta on this Mr. Miracle 4 page.
Yeah. So I don't know anyone in the chat if you read Tom King's run on Mr. Miracle. That miniseries was so good, and in that I really, really fell in love with sort of the interaction of Scott and Barda, and I was like, man, that's a page I want. I got to find a good big Barda page from Mr. Miracle 4, and I hit up every collector on CAF, Nate, Jordan, everyone who had good pages, and finally this page came up on Heritage, and it was not her like warrior costume, but it's her other apocalypse costume, and I just thought, man, this is so cool. So I told everyone in our group, hey, back off, boys, I'm making a run on this one, and was very, very happy to take it home. Barda is really cool because she was based on, I'm blanking on her name, supermodel at the time. Someone in the chat will know that one too. Gene, you're in there, so maybe you can help out. But the personality was based on his wife Roz, which is cool. So kind of a 2-parter here with Barda, and I love I love the captions in here. So funny. It's just great.
That last caption is incredible.
Yeah. Horsewhipped. It's like you would never get away with this stuff in modern comics, but so fun at the time,
Dude, you love Big Barda, I think, more than anyone has ever loved him. You love Big Barda more than Tom King loves Big Barda, more than Jack Kirby loves Big Barda.
I do. I don't know. I'm 6'4", so I'm pretty tall. And so I love this idea of just like tall people. And I don't know, she's so great to Scott in that Tom King series. I loved how just tender she was with his relationship. So there it is. My Big Barda page from Mr. Miracle 4.
Very nice. And she looks at least 7 heads tall there in that one. Precursor to our Adams going.
That's pre-Adams. 8 head count right there.
And you've got that last panel. I mean, hand lettered. It's got her character on there. So cool.
And Jack signed it, which is cool. I love Jack's little signature there in the right.
Oh, that's right. He signed it right next to where it says signed. That's awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was classy. It's just a classy place for that signature. Oberon, Scott. I mean, this is cool.
Yeah, not
he
bad.
should have pulled a Stan Lee and signed on top of her face. And
oh my gosh,
right in the middle of her belly.
Yeah, exactly.
So thank you. Jack had a little bit more common sense there.
A little more common sense on his signature placement. A little classy.
Yeah. Professor Wunderbar, huh? I mean, that's DC and their titles for people. I've never understood it, but I'm sure Professor Wunderbar was a classic character, right? I mean, was he? Do we know that? I mean, he's probably been around a while.
Probably. Coster got it too. It was Laney. Laney was the model. Sorry. Thanks.
I wasn't looking at the chat. There we go.
Laney. I didn't know that.
Kazan.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that model.
Yeah. She was an actress, model. Yeah. If you do Google image search, you'll see she's
doing it right now.
Very, very.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You really can see why.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. And then
I'm feeling left out.
Yeah. Do a quick Google search.
Laney Kazan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Everybody's Googling her right now. But yes, I can see why.
Thanks.
Yes. Thank you. Cool, man. That's a great pickup. So what do we got from you, Dinesh, for your 5th selection?
Also Kirby. Also a little Kirby.
So you guys, were you like commiserating? So you knew that it was going to be a Kirby? Okay.
Yeah.
No, this is just, I sent Mike a bunch of 10 minutes before this, a bunch of suggestions, and he was like, that one. This is Mike's genius here.
A curated show.
I have
what do we got?
a ton of Silver and Golden Age, especially Silver Age art from Marvel that's oversized, and I never get a chance to scan it. So I figured this is the perfect opportunity because I can never show it in the broadcast. So I've got an X-Men page here, X-Men 10.
Oh, you're killing me. That is the only issue of X-Men that Kirby drew that I want to page from. I mean,
Really? Why
issue 10, I just love the Savage Land. I mean, it's to me, it's like one hell of a cover, one of my favorite X-Men covers of all time. I love the story and the Savage Land. I mean, hell, man, that was the best of Kirby's short run on the book to get it started. I just thought it was the best story, and it's my favorite, one of my favorite issues in the first 50, honestly. So that's amazing.
I'm with you. Kazar, the Lost Land. Unfortunately, none of it's on this page, but
You got some good characters though.
In early X-Men is the weird relationship the students have with Professor X and all the weird things they do. So all this stuff here where they're like, at last, a mission, hot dog, thank you. And he's like over here being a weirdo and it's shaking hands. Like, what are you doing? You're shaking hands? Why? Who knows?
I love that
ice with the pipe. Look at that in that 5th panel. You know, Professor X has got that huge pipe going on there, and yeah, everybody knows I'm a Cyclops fan, so yeah, you get a lot of that too. I see Jiggy.
Oh yeah, the pipe. That's right, the pipe. So
cool. My gosh, Cyclops, get out of here.
So this is
that's awesome.
But those eyes, I mean, like, that'll haunt you. Look at that. Nothing on the back.
Yeah, no T-Bear on the back of that one, but that's great. It doesn't matter that they're not in the sale. I mean, again, that issue alone is like my favorite, because it's funny, you know, the Kirby market on X-Men, it's not ridiculous, you know, but as far as, but for me, yeah, if I could one day own a page from issue 10, I don't even care which page it is, I'd be the happiest X-Men collector on CAF.
They're out there, Bill. I feel like there's one in your future.
I know Jason's giving me crap too, saying, Bill, who doesn't have a page from X-Men 10? I know you've got one too. I mean, but still.
Yeah, Jason, X-Men 10 bros. Yes. You and me. That sort of club.
One of these days. Oh man. All right. So let's see here. And Kirby didn't make we did a show once, top 5 X-Men. We had 4. I was part of the panel, and Kirby didn't make my top 10. And I've gotten shit from everybody for the longest time because I didn't put Kirby in there.
That is surprising.
It is I know it's sacrilegious. He just wasn't, you know, for me, he didn't leave a big enough mark, even though he started the book. I just never felt there was 5 people that fell ahead of him. I've got 2 Werner Roths now, though.
Yeah, was he in your top 5?
He was actually my number 6 because I always said if there wasn't a Werner Roth, we might not have ever gotten a Neil Adams or Steranko, right? Who would have drawn the book for Kirby?
Kirby wasn't 6. What was Kirby?
Kirby was 7 in my book.
Who were the top 5?
Oh man, it was Cockrum, Byrne, Paul Smith. I'm trying to think who number 4 was. Shoot, I'm drawing a blank at the moment.
Paul Smith ahead of Kirby.
I know, and he even worked on fewer issues than Kirby, but I mean, come on, that was when you know, I was a kid, right? So it's very memorable to me. But I actually put Neil Adams at like 5. That's why I can't remember who my number 4 was. But Marcus will probably remind me who my number 4 was. But at any rate,
Renko.
Actually, it was the other way around. Neil Adams was 4. I put Jim Lee at 5. Even though I wasn't a reader of X-Men at the time because I didn't collect in the 90s. I felt like Jim deserved to be in the top 5 just because of his length of time on it and the fact that he's, you know, the other book and everything. So it's hard. I mean, I feel that's a good top 5, right? At the end of the day,
there's no wrong answers.
There's no wrong answers, exactly. Because like, you know, other people were picking John Romita Jr. I didn't like his run on X-Men. See, there's a number 1 Marvel fan just put it in the chat. They did. Alan Davis. Yeah, there's a lot of great artists on there.
So many.
Yeah, I voted for Tuska. I can't. No, I'm having the hardest. I want a piece of Tuska art. I just can't find one that I feel is good enough to own yet. I mean, and again, I'm not saying he's a bad artist. I just can't find that. I've not found that one example of Tuska art that I can add to my collection. So
you know who'd be in my top 5? Jim Mosswood. No reason.
No reason at all.
Who's the worst, Bill? Who's the worst X-Men artist ever?
Gosh, you know, I'm kind of drawing a blank on their name. There was an artist that came up when we were during that show, and it was more modern. It was done. There was somebody who worked on the book for like a year around 08 or 07 that they were just not suited for the book at all. And I can't remember their name. Very fine, kind of. I think it was all pencil too, and it wasn't LaRocca. It was somebody else, and I just couldn't stand their artwork, and it easily one of my least. I mean, literally made me not want to buy the book, even though I wanted to keep following the stories. I couldn't stand the artwork, and I don't even think they were a bad artist. It was just there was just something that viscerally just I hated about it, and shoot, I can't think of their name, but I apologize to that artist, if we can ever remember.
Maybe better not to say their name.
Probably not. And it's not, like I said, they're not a bad artist, but on the book, it didn't work for me. So there you have it. Boy, Jiggy's getting a lot of attention. Everybody's happy Jiggy's in the chat.
Who doesn't love Jiggy?
That's a good question. I don't
Jiggy, you missed your Kamala cover earlier if you just joined.
We did show that earlier. Andy Park. It wasn't Andy Park, Jason, but you should know you were hanging out for that show. Anyway, let's see here. Number 6. What do we got here from Mike? We've got
Avengers
with Don Heck. I love Don Heck.
I love Don Heck. I also love Mantis, and that's why I got this page, because this is Mantis's first ever panel, I believe. I think Jordan had this for sale for a while. I saw it on Heritage. I missed it up with Jordan, and then made a run at it when I saw it on Heritage. I just love it. I don't know if you saw the Guardians Christmas special on Disney Plus, but my little girls just love Mantis in that. She's so funny, her and Drax interaction. And so when I saw this, I was like, man, this is a great page. I really want to grab this one. So there it is.
This is her first ever panel?
I think so. Yeah. I think that top middle, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe that's awesome.
Yeah, but beautiful. I mean, it's really beautifully rendered there. Love the eyes, love just the silhouette. I mean, it's a good page.
And you got this from Jordan?
No, I missed it with Jordan. Ended up seeing it again on Heritage. And so I don't know if Jordan consigned it or if somebody else, grabbed it and put it in there, but happy to grab it.
I love when people buy first appearances from Jordan. I feel like if we can buy all of them and he has no more left, he'll stop saying birth. It's a win for everyone.
I don't think you'll be able to buy enough pages from Jordan where he doesn't have any more first appearances.
Jordan has some just incredible stuff. And I will say, like, his pricing is pretty spot on. We were talking about it in our group. When he does an offering, when he's raising capital for something, he's got pretty good. It's like priced just enough where you're like, yeah, I'm going to grab that. But it's also, it's smart. It's smart pricing.
No, I completely agree. So yeah, very nice page. And I did see the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special.
Yeah, it was fun with Kevin Bacon. It was great.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yes, indeed. That was a nice surprise towards the end.
I loved it. There was a large Kevin Bacon bit in there, which has been sort of an ongoing gag with Guardians, and it's fun to see.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that.
So number 6 over to you now, Dinesh.
Okay. Another one of these things that's too large for me to scan. I'm too lazy. Avengers 28.
Gosh, look at that.
Which is the actually first appearance as well. This issue is the first appearance of the collector.
Yeah.
Appears a couple times. Even names himself over here.
Yeah.
Nothing can defeat the collector. Just awesome. Marvel, birth of the God, I said it, didn't I?
You did.
Birth of the Marvel universe. That
buzzer.
Said the word. Just that they're building their universe up, man, and still early in the universe, and pieces are going on the board, and it's just fun to see them all interacting, and they're starting to set up those relationships, and big oversized art. It's on the back.
Bong on it. I love that.
Looks like a finger. One of these fingers. Yeah, and I think this is Don Heck. Does it say anywhere? Yep, Don Heck.
Old Tanner's on there, man. He's a stud.
It says Intro to Collector, 1966.
That's cool.
Has it got a price on the back of it?
It does not have a price on the back. No pricing. So that's my next one.
I want to see that one in person next time I'm down there. I haven't seen that one.
Absolutely. It's cool. This era is so cool.
Yeah. I didn't know you had that one. That's a good pickup.
I bought a piece of art that has a bong on it. That I'll be opening it up on Thursday. Yeah, it was on the Dueling Dealers last week, and it became a running joke. Yeah, it was Aquaman using some kind of underwater bong. Like somebody did it as a con sketch or something like that. He had a bunch of mermaids laying around him. All the fish swimming around him looked like they were on something. A tortoise was trying to hit the bong, but and we all joke about Aquaman art anyway. But so to have Aquaman with a underwater bong, I mean, it's never been seen before. I'm sure if DC saw it, they'd probably want to confiscate it and make sure it was never seen by anybody.
Yeah,
I've got one of those fragile boxes over there that I have to open on Thursday. We'll have. I did buy that. Jason's like, you bought? Come on! I bought Hulk with Pearls by Tom Morgan, where he's dressed up as freaking She-Hulk. Yes, that's what that is right there. It's under glass, so I show it to you. But yeah, it's literally Hulk with a string of pearls, and he's wearing like a dress, and it's torn. There, I'll go full screen. You won't be able to see it much better, but
Hulk with a torn dress and a pearl necklace.
Yes, and that was that's published in something from Marvel. I don't know what. It was some kind of gag, but we had it on Dueling Dealers, and surprisingly, nobody wanted to buy it. So
you bought it.
It was in the first 10 episodes. I'm like, as soon as but everybody laughed their butts off about it. So I was like, I'm buying that, putting it on the back wall so we can all look at it for the rest of our days. Hulk with pearls. Yes, that is so true.
Amazing. It's like an Archie cover. The old pearl necklace.
Yes, exactly. And it was a JJ Kirby commission. You're right, Joseph Damon. But anyways, yeah, we'll get to relive all the fun of that on Thursday. Jason says the Hulk thing was a spoof ad in Marvel. Okay.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't surprise me. All right. So what do we got next here? Oh yeah, this is one I have never read this one, but this is from Deadpool, Merc with a Mouth, issue 7. Liefeld.
Yeah. First Lady Deadpool. I had a page. I love when Liefeld does Lady Deadpool. She's actually a really fun character, and I had a page from Deadpool Corp, which is her second appearance, and I'd been looking for one of these things, and then Glenn finally posted one. There's another collector on CAF who has quite a few, and I'd been after a few of them and just no luck. And so Glenn posted this one, grabbed it right away. I love the top panel where Deadpool's sort of kissing an alternate version of himself, which is hilarious. And then it makes the heart. You see Captain America's ripped off arm in the bottom left panel, which is also hilarious to me. But yeah, pretty goofy. But just it's Deadpool. It's just kind of goofy ridiculousness.
Yeah, it was. Because I had to scroll through most of that issue on one of those read online sites to get to the color image, and I was like, I couldn't. I wasn't reading it, but I'm like, what in the heck is going on in this story? It
is so bizarre, but it was a fun. I mean, there's some rumor that she may show up in the new Deadpool movie. There's some Deadpool variants that have been sort of hinted at to be in the new Deadpool. So who knows? Maybe she'll be in there too. But there's kind of an ongoing speculation that Taylor Swift would be Lady Deadpool, which is based on some Halloween antics and pictures she had posted a while back. But just kind of fun. I like Lady Deadpool. Great character.
Well, very nice page. All right, number 7 over to you. Are you going to be showing some Lady Deadpool, Dinesh? Or
no, I have no
Liefeld?
No Liefeld, no Lady Deadpool, unfortunately. I do have this Marvel Spotlight 5. First, Ghost Rider Mike Plug with this awesome Mean King style. Got little devil here. Got our Johnny Blaze there, Bike there, doing his best.
Evil Knievel there. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that is cool. That's that Devil's Mephisto too. Comes out later.
Oh, that's right. It is Mephisto. Yeah. So little Marvel Spotlight 5. Love this book. Have a few pages from it. I haven't had a chance to scan this one yet, so pulled it out and wanted to show it off.
That's great.
Yeah. That last panel's awesome.
It is cool. Coming to collect his debt there.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. For anyone that hasn't read this issue, but loves Ghost Rider, it's bonkers. It's amazing.
It is a weird, just a bizarre issue, right? Like that story.
So cool.
it's
cool. Wild. So weird.
Yeah, it looks good.
Wow. Yeah, that's great, man. Congrats.
Thank you.
And I'm glad you always look on the back so we can see if there's another T-Bear on.
Yeah. Might be something surprising.
Oh man. Okay. What is next here? A cover this time. So what is this? This is
this is a cool one. This is JSA Secret Files and Origins #1. And this actually, it's funny. I was with our friend Bailey when he bought this from the Donnellys. So they had this at a show. I think it was LA Con, or maybe it was Torpedo Con, something like that. But it was down in LA, flipping through their binders. They had this. I don't think they really kind of knew some of the historic impact of this particular cover. So this is actually the first appearance of Kendra, who becomes Hot Girl there. And then also Atom Smasher up in the top, who showed up in the Black Adam movie. So I was with Bailey when he got this, got a smoking deal on it. I was always after it. And then recently, Isabella Merced was cast as Kendra, and Isabella is like one of our favorites, is a favorite actresses. She did like Dora the Explorer movie. If you've ever seen that, it's like actually really hilarious, even as an adult. Certainly fun for kids, but as a dad watching that, there was some pretty fun inside jokes there. And so anyway, we love her as an actress, and then her being cast as Kendra in Gunn's Superman movie was like, that's an awesome opportunity. So when Bailey said he was selling this, it was a little bit more than he got it for, but I was happy to give him the money for it.
Sweet.
Yeah, and great. I mean, awesome team image here. There's an overlay, so the stuff on the right and the top is an overlay. So that's all redone. But the cover, the team appearance there is fantastic.
Right. I just realized I have a first appearance that you guys probably like to see. Probably haven't seen it before, but I was looking at something in another window, and then I was like, this would be good to show you guys. Look at that.
What you got?
Color guide from X-Men 101.
Whoa,
amazing!
Look at that. A real deal, man. Yeah, I have friends in high places, I guess, but somebody said
I'd say so.
You might be interested in this. It's a color guide, and I don't, of course I don't collect color guides, but how could you not get the color guide, right? I mean, because the original ever came out. I mean, not many people on the planet would be able to afford that if it ever made it to market, but I got the color guide. So yeah. Cheers.
You're holding out on us, man. It's us. Hey.
I'm not Jordan, level yet, but I guess I do have a few interesting things. But that was cool. I saw it. I was like,
very cool.
Whatever it is, I'll buy it. Whatever. I didn't even ask the price. I'm like, yes, I want it. So yeah, very neat. I mean, color guides will never be worth anything close to what the originals are. But still, this is a little piece of production history on my, on one of the most popular Marvel characters are out there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I don't have anything else to show. That's it. I'm sorry. Next time I'll plan ahead and I'll pick 10 pieces.
That would be fun, actually. Let's do that for the next one. Let's do that. Let's do like a Bill show and tell, and we'll interview you on this.
All right, I can do that. I can hold out.
Color guide. You've got Pearl Necklace, Hulk. These are big pieces, man.
They are pretty good. Well, they're very unique pieces. I don't know if they'll call them big or not, but yeah. I mean, you haven't even seen Aquaman with a bong yet, so yeah, I'll have that next a couple days.
Who needs a trend when you have that?
I wish I had something cool here. Here. I'm going to show something to everybody.
Yes, more.
Because
Bill unboxing.
I've shown this to a couple people, and nobody can identify where it's from. And I'm going to be selling this on the Cowan show, and so I was hoping to figure it out because I just don't know what it's from. Dennis has a bad, he doesn't remember where it was from either. This was published in '96 by DC, and it's definitely missing a character that was probably done on another board, but it's a Lobo piece. And let me go full screen here, and you might be able to see. There's actually. Right here, there's kind of an outline of, I'm going to guess that might have been that Lady Lobo, his girlfriend or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's lighting a cigar, but it's only lightly penciled. So I'm guessing it was on another board, but there was some kind of like pinup book that came out for Lobo in '86. So I looked through that. Cowan had a piece in it, but it wasn't this one. So if anybody knows where this was used, and I'm sure it's not a cover, but it probably could have been used in some kind of a pinup or promo ad or something. But Dennis said, I think it was a character design. I'm like, there's no way that's a character design.
I don't think so.
The top third is blank, so that would have been trade dress.
Yeah.
I know. Well, that's why it's a confusing piece. So if anybody out there recognizes this, please email me, bill@comicartfans.com. I'd love to be able to at least identify it before I try to sell it on Saturday. Because other than that, I don't really have anything else to say. But it is stamped, by 96 by DC. So it was published one way or another.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, that's why I never know what I'm going to get when the artists send me the stuff. Yeah. So cool. But I wasn't paying attention to the chat. Did anybody give me the answer? Probably not.
Shaheen said Blazing Chains of Love.
Yeah, that was like 92 though. That's definitely not that. Jason says maybe a Who's Who book. I mean, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
I'll keep looking around, but if anybody figures out the answer to that, please hit me up. Let me know. Oh, and Derek was looking too. Derek's my go-to. And see, he even says he doesn't know. He's looked, he can't figure it out. Derek usually has an answer for any question I have related to something in the comics world of any kind. He or Marcus. I didn't ask Marcus. Marcus, you should know. You know everything else. Anyway, so what do we got next here? Now that I've derailed everything, are we eight over to you, Dinesh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it me?
I think it's back to you. Yeah.
Okay. Got a long Halloween page here. Love Tim Sale.
Ooh.
So graphic, so simple. This is a big splash page. The reveal. I don't want to say what or who for anyone that hasn't read Long Halloween because it's an amazing story. But just such a great use of shadow here.
That is really cool.
And Tim Sale. Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale gone too soon. One of the, in my opinion, all-time great Batman stories. I loved reading it.
Yeah.
Got a few pages from Long Halloween. This is one of my favorites.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that is really nice. Dang.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Very happy about it.
It's funny. You see stuff like that. You see, how much, Sale influenced Rizzo and, I mean, did so many other creators at the end of the day. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Rizzo, on my list, I don't have any Eduardo Rizzo pages, but he's an absolute genius. Got to see if I can get something.
Agreed. I've always wanted an example from him too. I just I have so many people I need an example from, but Rizzo is definitely one. And I don't have a Sale. I've never had a Tim Sale piece. But you know what? I've always wanted. I wanted one of his. Remember he inked Myth Adventures as his first professional work. I want to get a decent Myth Adventures page. Then I'll be able to say I've got a Tim Sale, and I'll be happy with that. Because I never actually read the comic. I read the books. I always thought they were good. So anybody?
You need a Shaheen before he blows up.
Yeah,
that's true.
You can't show it on CAF. It's offensive. All his commissions are offensive.
All of them,
but worth it.
Okay. Let's see. Tim mentioned that his run on Batman was following Jim Lee is very good. Yeah. All right. Well, who we got next here? We've got we're on number 9 here from you, Mike.
I feel like we need some Spider-Man art here. Yes, this is Ron Friends. A collector reached out to me and had most of the Silver Sable pages from her first appearance issue. Mm-hmm. This is one of the last ones left. And actually, I'm really glad it was because it actually checks 2 boxes for me. So first appearance of Silver Sable issue, but also Black Costume Spidey, which was a lot of fun. So you can see her interacting with Spidey in the 3 panels there. And, just classic Spider-Man from that era. So, I don't know. I love kind of the little Spider-Man note in that middle panel too. You can see it. What was it? Compliments of your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. That's just, that's my childhood on a panel. It's great.
Sweet. Yeah. I love, Ron Friends, he's a master. There's nothing that he touched that wasn't great. And it's a really nice page. This is inked by Rubenstein, I think, right?
Yep. Just Rubenstein. You got it. Yeah. And again, like early Black Costume Spidey stuff, it's not a really prominent, aspect of this page, but still there. And I love that bottom left panel, especially.
No, this is amazing. Ron Friends is not as flashy, so underappreciated probably. Yep. And Silver Sable, I think the the most famous Spidey villain that is still affordable. It's crazy that her.
Yeah, that's actually true. Yeah, because you couldn't touch Black Cat at all anymore.
No,
I think you're right.
Well, no, nice pickup. So, when did you get this one? Just recently?
This is a private sale. I had to do some time payments on it. And I don't know, maybe it's probably right after we did our last show. I was just finishing up payments on it.
Cool. I just realized you had a skeleton behind your right shoulder.
Yeah, this is courtesy of my wife. Got the Halloween decorations up. I had to move rooms, but it's fun. We're pretty festive around here.
I like that.
too early, Mike.
No way, man.
No going to Home Depot, you'll see all the decorations. Right.
Never too early for Halloween, man. We got two kiddos there. Actually, Ari was here. She was like, "Is that Mr. Dinesh?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's him."
I thought I saw somebody on the screen there for a second when we had the art up.
That's my youngest.
Awesome.
Like, Dad, you're so lame. Your friends are so lame. What are you guys doing?
No, she was so excited. She's like, "You mean I get to be on YouTube?" Yes. This is the gateway to my celebrity. It's great.
Amazing.
Oh man. All right. Well, what's your number 9, Dinesh?
Okay, I've got this thing here, which is someone's gonna have to help me with this. It is Rich Butler, Deathlok, from predates Astonishing Tales 26, and it's from like a magazine, like a Marvel preview or Marvel magazine or something. And it's I don't think it's quite a design. It might be a design that was repurposed, but it might have gone off the design. But it's something earlier than the first appearance book, and it's just a cool early drawing of Deathlok, who I love, and I don't know why more people don't love him, and he's not more popular. I don't care. He's awesome.
Yeah, this is before his first appearance issue. This is the ad, and Fish actually helped on this one. This was a show that Fish was out on the East Coast that we couldn't make, and he hit us up and said, "Hey, this is available. You guys want it?" It's cool.
Huh. So it's on vellum?
On this translucent vellum. So you can see my hand behind there, my face.
Yeah.
And it's cool.
Huh.
It's got these little things stuck onto it that you can see in the final. A little white out there. Yeah, it's cool.
Shaheen said maybe Foom 5. I don't know. That's bad.
No, it's let me see if I can find it.
You said it was in some like a Marvel magazine, I assume.
Yeah, it was. It was an ad.
I looked it up and found it, and I just can't remember now. You're right. Astonishing Tales 25, not 26.
Thank you, Tim Guerrero.
I think it's before 25, though.
Yeah, it's before 25.
Yeah,
for the first appearance. But I can't remember what it is, where it's from.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And it was at a show that Fish was at. I got to get Fish on here for an interview. Give him some pressure to that guy a little bit. I asked him every like 6 months, and he's always like, "I'm too busy."
Oh man,
busy.
I was after a couple of pages in Heritage recently, and I missed them. And then I called Fish. I'm like, "Hey, did you get anything?" It was like all the pages that I was after. I'm like, awesome.
Exactly.
When he goes to something, he doesn't miss.
He does not miss. Just tell me what you're going for, Fish. I will never go after it.
I'm trying to find where that goes.
That's how he is. If you talk to him, tell him he can do it. He can tell me anything he wants. He can because he always used to kid around with me a lot. Because I used to see him a lot at like New York Comic Con and a few other events and things we were doing. But we haven't talked in like 10 years. So that's why he's overdue for a conversation with me.
I would love to see a best of from Fish. Just show us the best of. There it is.
Oh yeah,
it was from 5. I'm sorry, Shaheen, you were right.
It is from 5. Here we go. I'm trying not to get that.
There it is. Yep, you were totally right.
It says revision 37. So there was 36 rounds of notes on this thing, and then here it is again.
Yeah.
In an ad. So it was used in an ad and in Foom 5, which is cool.
You're right, Shaheen. Nice job.
That's pretty. That's even better, man. That's a true first appearance piece. That wasn't in an interior page. That's great.
Yeah, that's cool.
Shaheen for the win.
I know, man.
It's a no prize, Shaheen. You don't get anything special from the channel, unfortunately. Not tonight.
I put a gold next to his name on my board at home. Just a little gold star.
There you have it. Where we got now? We got one more piece from each of you, and this one I was kind of curious about because David Messina and. But when I was going to get the image, it had like those inset panels, like it was almost like a DPS, but obviously this.
It is, yeah. So I didn't send you the second half of this, Bill. I only.
Okay. So you actually have the whole thing. It's not.
I have both.
Got it. All right. I was a little mystified at like how you only would have half of it, but okay,
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah, and actually, I just was up in Rose City. That's where Bendis lives, up in Portland. And so he signed this one too, being a co-creator of Miles. So this is actually Miles Morales from Ultimate Comics Spider-Man #5. If you notice, you don't usually see Miles in a blue and red costume. So this is before he actually gets his black costume. And when I first started collecting Miles stuff, I was kind of bummed because Sarah Pichelli was the main artist on all the early Miles stuff. But Sarah only draws digitally. So she did basically the early run. Well, it turns out issue 5 was credited to Sarah. And I debated on sharing this because I'm still after a lot of these pages, if anyone has them. Issue 5 was credited to Sarah, but actually done by David Messina. And David did not do them digitally. He did some digital work and then would ink over some of the layouts on the back, which you see there in the kind of the thin blue lines. So these are this actual like issue is the earliest Miles interiors ever that are done traditionally. So pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, did she do like layouts or something, or was she just not involved in this one at all?
Sarah did the title and the very last page, if I'm not mistaken. And
Sweet.
So she somehow got credited the whole issue, but it was really David Messina. So, I reached out to David and asked him if he had any other pages, bought everything I could. Guys at Cadence had some of the pages still. They sat there for years. No one knew. And so kind of a cool way to grab some early Miles stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah. I thought it was such a fun story. And you don't get that unless you're talking to the artist, which is such a neat thing about this hobby is when you're interacting directly with the people who are creating this stuff.
You are a forensic detective of original art to figure that out. It's awesome.
Yeah. Right. I mean, you got to dig for that. I mean, at the end of the day, but that's cool.
It's pretty neat. It's also neat because in the first Into the Spider-Verse movie, they show Miles with the red and blue costume. He buys it, a store, and it's Stan Lee's likeness, and he has like a Spidey costume that he puts on. So it's the red and blue, but that's where that came from was these early 5 issues.
Well, that's do you have other pages, or is that the first that you've got?
I have 4 pages from that issue.
And you'd like at least 4 more.
I would like all of them. Please me. I will pay you for them.
Okay, you heard it, everybody. You know where you can sell the Messina work from that issue if you got it. You are right. Well, and yeah, you can easily find Mike in his CAF Gallery, right? Just put in Xatari and you will find him in the premium member list.
Xatari, right?
Yep, exactly. I think it's got an @ symbol too. @Xatari.
I was thinking like there was some other part of it, but I couldn't remember what. But yeah, that's probably what it is. @Xatari. Am I saying it right? Xatari?
Yeah, it's like a Z.
Z. All right. So Dinesh.
Yes. And
what is your final piece of the evening?
Shaheen got a commission from Ronald going.
Oh, I saw Ron ask about that. Well, good. Ron Shepard's on CAF, and Ron is a big commission collector. Loves commissioning artists. So there you go.
He's never had a commission like Shaheen's commissions. I'll tell you that.
Careful what you wish for.
I've got this Spirit of Vengeance #6.
Oh, dang.
Kubert.
Oh man, look at that.
There's a painted version and a pen and ink version. The painted version's on CAF as well. It's beautiful. And this is the pen and ink. And I remember this poster, loved it. Remember the book as a kid.
Wow.
Wow, it's Adam too. That's great.
Yeah. Early 90s.
Yeah.
Kubert.
Yeah.
And just peak 90s here, man. So cool.
That's really cool.
And you can display it.
You should get like a picture frame that like spins.
I know, right?
Just throw it on your wall and spin it.
That's my last one. Nothing on the back.
Nothing on the back at all. No, that's great, man. That's beautiful.
Thanks.
Love it.
So now my job is I have to scan all these and put them up on CAF.
See, you just have to have like a scanning day where you just say, screw it. I'm going to figure out, I'm just going to do nothing but. I actually figured in Photoshop, everybody always was telling me to use that. There's some kind of unite, underneath the edit thing where it just kind of merges them. Because I had a couple pieces that I had to scan, twice, right? Large art. I've been doing that by hand for years. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Now that I finally Googled it because, I'm like, all right, screw it. I got to figure this out. And it was simple. It's like you just click edit, unite something, and then boom, it just merged it, put it right where it needed to be. And I was like, I have been struggling for 20 years doing it the wrong way. And I use Photoshop every day.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's stupid is what it is. Yeah.
I'm just going to take screenshots of this episode and stick them up on CAF instead of scanning them. That'll be my new thing.
That's there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, Palmiotti posts a lot of stuff that you always see the tiles on his floor. So, he's just laying his art on the ground and taking the picture and putting it up there. He's posted like 900 pieces. I mean, in the last year, I mean, he's been a machine of late, but it's because he's using his phone. So he's able to just kind of knock them out and everything. But hey, more power to him. So I'm just glad he's posting a lot because he's got some crazy stuff. He's collected over the years. But hey, no, this was fun, guys, as always.
Thanks.
We shouldn't wait it was like it seems like it's been like 8 months since the last time. We should try to kind of keep it on a schedule. So
I know.
It'll make you choosing your 10 pieces a lot easier if it's a little more compressed window for us to do the show.
Yeah, it's funny. I kind of keep a running list. I was like, man, I've got like 5 or 6 more pieces I can add, but I like that 10 number. So it just keeps it short and sweet, and then we have some extra ammo we can chat about whenever we need it.
Exactly. Sorry, I'm just reading through the chat, make sure I didn't miss any questions here. Yeah. But no, David, sharing art is what it's all about. And I've done this show style format with Dinesh and Mike for a while. But if anybody else ever wants to do kind of a reveal of stuff that you've been collecting, I mean, these guys don't put a lot of it on CAF until they do the reveal. But I'm happy to do art days with anybody. I think the more opportunities we have to talk about art and why we bought it, what was interesting about it, and we get to show it off. I mean, you always learn something new. I mean, there were a couple artists that I was not very familiar with that we got to see, and then other pieces that were classic. That again, it's just cool to know where they're at, and we get to see them. So hit me up, anybody. I'm happy to. I love talking about art. So, but Dinesh and Mike, I'm glad that you guys were able to hang out with me again. You promoted Shaheen, even though his art's illegal in 49 states. There's nothing wrong with that. Sorry.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. I agree with Bill. I highly recommend anyone doing an art reveal here. It's awesome. Yeah. You don't even have to prepare or scan the art.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
And it's great. My favorite part is the conversation that just happens organically, like talking about the Heritage Auction and other things like that. That's my favorite part.
Yeah. I also love, grab a buddy. I love when we do this together because it's fun for me to see new stuff Dinesh picked up. It's fun to chat about it. It keeps conversation going too. Yeah. I love this because it keeps me sort of accountable to get my CAF gallery updated every 6 months. It's like, okay, I've got this batch of pieces I need to make sure I load in. And so I get everything ready and prepped and then load it in the next day.
Well, I love to hear that. Yeah. I definitely appreciate it. And so anybody hit me up. You know my email address. Say it all the time. Bill@comicartfans.com. Happy to have anybody
on here. Come on, bring your commissions.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to talk to Balls Layton on Thursday and ask him about if they still go sploosh or if he's gotten a tuck job of some kind to get that fixed on Thursday. Tune in, everybody, Thursday at the start of the show. But again, thanks, guys. I sincerely appreciate it. And, again, everybody in the chat, it was a lot of fun as always. So we look forward to, doing these again. And again, have a great night, everybody. We'll talk again soon.
Thanks, Bill. Thanks, guys.